Hello, brothers. Good morning. A nice Saturday weekend. Today, Michael is back to talk to you. Brothers, life is still going on, and all human activities related to war collide with each other. In which war causes death. A type of death is the war that is taking place in Cambodia and Thailand, as well as in Ukraine and Russia. In that life. Besides that, there are wars that are not also deadly, but do not have to use guns and ammunition. That is a war with a war of trade. The trade war is getting worse. In the middle, one side is the capitalist faction and some remaining countries of the socialist faction like Vietnam, like Russia, like China. Those are countries that are afraid of socialism. However, at present, I see that they are all the same. They are all about the basic circuit. In the basic aspect. As for other ideals, I dare not go into detail because that is politics. Then, in terms of economics, I see that they are all the same. They are preparing for each other. But I see that there are wars between the two sides. For example, the current war between the U.S. and China. That is the U.S. side. Right now, it is the ground. All of it can go up to even some industries. In Vietnam, the tax has gone up to 46%. Ladies and gentlemen, is there a danger in this life that the tax has gone up to such a terrible level? That is, then, in the U.S., they consider it as withdrawing from many international treaties and agreements. And not to mention that maybe one day they will withdraw from the treaty called the Security Council and leave the treaty. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not to mention all the treaties related to health issues, related to humanitarian issues, related to non-material issues, etc. All the issues related to cultural beauty, or the old stories related to the so-called human being, the U.S. is currently withdrawing from. What do they think? They are the ones who comply with even protecting the climate and environment, etc., to clean up the earth. This earth is round, green and beautiful. More than that, they say they protect for decades, but for hundreds of years, they have spent their efforts and minds, scientists, research to all issues from finance to sponsor many poor countries, and then they try their best to protect and work in compliance, and so on. But the world in general, there are many countries that do not comply with that, and they do what they want to do, and they do not even contribute anything to the world in general. They do a lot. Like that, well, up until now, the U.S. has begun to look back and see that they are too much of a sponsor. They are too costly, too much of a burden for the world. They are a superpower. So why does the whole world have to respect them? Well, now they want to take away those rights. Brothers, so what is the problem in our economy? There is a characteristic that we feel that this superpower is gradually. Those leaders are gradually recognizing the world. The so-called market of ours, which is the crypto market, the market of electronic money in general, and the market called the economy, a decentralized economy, an economy where there is only free trade without any customs barriers. However, there are still some control agencies, control audit, inspection, reputation, to be considered controllable, not the world of cryptocurrency. An uncontrolled world. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever it is, everything in this world, when new things are formed. New ideas, things that begin to operate to serve humanity. But it is always a period that people call a transition period. In such a transition period, people and the world community in general have knowledge to recognize, to understand, to be able to participate in it, or to be able to integrate with it, which is still very immature and sketchy. That is why many markets, including the Vietnamese market in general, and in particular, the Vietnamese community, have lost a lot of money because of CA projects abroad. They are ahead. Vietnam, although currently experiencing a lot, the community experiences a lot, and that is very willing. Along with other developing countries, Vietnam is one of the developing countries that also really wants to improve their lives. That is the normal desire. The normal desire of people, of humanity. The desire to change. The desire to become rich. To have a more prosperous life with less hardship. No longer having to work so hard and suffer so much, but still being able to create a cash flow. Life is easier with that kind of thinking from the old life of our grandparents and parents, only knowing how to raise children and have enough to eat, and snacks is enough. But then what happened? People realized that eating and learning to raise children must be taught to raise them. Not enough. Nowadays, no one goes hungry. How can a family with very little money still have enough for the next day? Meals are the lowest. It's not that I look back at life. It's probably not that our society is people who are hungry. Oh, it's very likely that the rate is only somewhere around 10%. You guys, as for those places, the rest, we see and recognize that now, when a family has children, the most important thing is not to raise them, but to raise them and teach them. Teaching is difficult because teaching today is not something that you can teach your children according to your own direction. But it is influenced by society, by the media, widespread that we cannot stop. That is the medium of the internet and the medium of other media. That is, then from the fact that knowledge comes from so many places around the world, it leads to spreading it to all of our children. Not only if we forbid our children from accessing the internet at home, but their friends when they go to school. Their friends will learn it. Whatever is on the internet, they will listen to each other or guide each other. Those programs play off, for example, TikTok, those accounts, they call accounts, you guys. Then back to the economic issue a little bit. We see the war is happening between two sides of the world. The two biggest sides in society are people right now. The two biggest ideologies only. And everything else is social although there are only a few countries left. But those countries where the socialist side is, they are very steadfast. Very strong in that ideology. They still keep, and they are still very loyal to the ideal. That's like capitalism. They are very easy. Sometimes they are right in the heart of capitalism. There is still socialism, specifically in America. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling the truth. That is, the picture of talking about the problem that is called a little about ideology, about ideals, about politics a little bit related to human life. Then what is in it? It has education. It has culture. It has ideology. Then it can control all behaviors. all things to lead to being able to create material things. So in the past, we learned that matter determines consciousness, or consciousness determines matter. Now, that's probably something everyone realizes. Well, we can't argue anymore. The story here that you argue about is like a chicken laying eggs. Eggs laying chickens. It's endless. However, we look at the reality of life so that we can evaluate it. So, Michael, please allow me to chat with you guys this weekend. Let's go back to our main topic. What is it? What is the cryptocurrency market? Is it attractive? That's the initial signal. The signal of international acceptance. The signal of billionaires accepting it. The signal of all the great leaders of the world. Of the great powers accepting it. In China, before, the leaders did not allow it. Even wanted to destroy the companies of Alibaba because they attracted too large a community. Held too large an asset. So they were afraid. The problem related to the politics of their country, but what about now? It's not like that. Then they are at ease, and they accept some of the platforms to be born. The majority of the companies that have the platform that is related to cryptocurrency today come from China. Because China is also a cradle. Ladies and gentlemen, they are very good. They are very good. They are very good at technology. Not that they are not good. They are the leader before Vietnam. The whole world. It must be said that the U.S. and the East and the West are represented by those countries. And representing the East, we must say that China is good. They are everywhere. Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand, all the countries in the region called Asia Pacific are Chinese. They do not have them, and they are very good. Good at technology. Good at technology. Not just manufacturing technology. Not electronics technology. Not electronics. Not electronics. Including weapons. Including science. Medical courses. Research communities. They are good at implementation. Wherever they are. They are pioneers. So now, when they have the consensus of the leadership, generally the leaders of the country, the representatives of the bosses, the people whose leaders have approved them, they have exposed the companies in the digital economy, the companies with the digital financial platform, the companies with the science and technology platform. They have exposed them. However, among them, there are many Chinese people who are very good at business, very good at commerce. Wherever there are Chinese people, there is commerce, and whoever says that the Chinese do not do business, there is no business. Where is the reputation? Extremely reputable. But on the contrary, if we are not alert, we will encounter so-called orange business people. Fire diggers. There are too many of them. You guys, the most fire digging is there. It starts there, and they have to say they are sophisticated. They are always sophisticated. Brothers, from the foundation to everything. They exploit every aspect, including the problem of losing money at the bank, transferring money, then clicking on the line, even just the phone. But you can lose money. Brothers, don't you see? So what does that prove? It proves that they are too far ahead of us in terms of technology. We have a large number of representatives of Vietnam who are coaches who have worked with FPT, worked with all kinds of foreign businesses, or worked in Silicon Valley in the U.S. We have people who are talented people in technology. right? But all of you, for a long time, have been bleeding and losing your body. They don't work for themselves. They don't work for the dreams of their people. They have to contribute and work to build dreams for others, for other governments. So now in my spirit today chatting with you guys, I really did nothing. I still welcome, still pick up, still come to all of you when you invite me to attend all of the platforms and projects. What did I come to do? To encourage my brothers in spirit. They invited me to examine, to feel, to experience the project, and I still welcome them. Even the foreign brothers invited me to work. Some project they say, hey, this is mine. This is my boss's, this is good. This and so on. This and so on. However, I can still experience everything and invite you to experience some. Brothers to experience and together to do some tests. For what? That is to build relationships. Relationships. It is called earned relationship. That cannot be bought with money. Brothers are built with what? With the image of brothers, with reputation. So I am always open. I am not negative. Some brothers now talk badly behind my back. They say that Mr. Michael Hugh has everything wherever he goes. But brothers, is there anything I stand up and run? Have I done it? Not yet. What do I gather brothers for? To help the person who is running that project. That is the way I live with brothers. As for whether I do it or not, I have to reconsider. I put in a little bit to have fun with you guys. That's it. But losing the bowl might mean losing a little point. What's left? What about you guys? What about relationships? Right? In this life, if anyone has the world in their hands, that person will be king. This saying already exists in China. I have not seen anyone say it in Vietnam. So, back to the economic issue. Let's look at one thing. We have bright spots that the Vietnamese market supports. Very easy to integrate. Ready to open wallet to make the number of people. Maybe now people evaluate the Vietnamese market as the second one in the world. That is the market that is called the second largest in the world for cryptocurrencies. The number of people who open wallets and participate in this market. That is the cash flow that I cannot count. Actually, in some things they can count. But the cash flow that goes to these crypto fields is difficult to count. Because the wallet is confidential. We don't know. Whose is it? We only know the area is in the area when there is a declaration. So sometimes when checking the wallet online, we can check it. Holder, how much, how many holder, how many wallet, how much money can be controlled, the market capitalization of those coins. But we cannot control which country it comes from, where the owner is difficult, that at a certain stage, the government can do something in the country to control domestically only. To make the problem of financial transactions transparent. It does not have to fall into the situation where some sharks outside take advantage of the cryptocurrency market to launder money. Actually, that is protection. Just the protection of the country. I see that when I am touched. Okay, I also want to tell you, emphasize to you that you should not be selfish. Open your heart. If you accept, then you will be accepted by others. If you participate, then others will participate. If you visit other people's houses, then they will visit you. Life must be brotherly. Both sides benefit and are happy. This life must create positive energy. We should not judge that it is random. But I certainly cannot call myself spiritual. Where is the spirit? Or do I also accept what it is? If it hasn't been called, it's called spam. Sometimes I call it trash, but I don't know I'm trash. Things that are trash. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do a test. Put that name in and clean up the trash on the platforms of the platforms of the platforms. Those platforms will say it's trash, and it will clean it up. It will clean it up for you. It will clean up your wallet. Guys, many people still believe in those things. Like we've seen some platforms where the government has stepped in and arrested the leaders. Those who have knowledge are shaking. Others to join and then roll up, and the money goes up to thousands of billions. Assets like real estate are all devoted to stories like that, but in the end, they are just fabricated stories. Virtual projects that are not real and are considered just trash. There is no foundation, no technology, no team, no root. The whole thing is just a drawing of the projects. So now those so-called PhDs, bank directors, deputy bank directors, those who seem to be delicious, have knowledge and so on. They just join and rush into it. But now they just sit there thinking they are super good. Those guys who are really juniors. They don't beat their chests, and their names are nothing but PhDs. Nothing. But it is normal, and it experiences, and it accepts that it hurts. It accepts that it is cursed. Sometimes. What is it called? Internet cafe. But in reality, only those who have experience, are dedicated, and have gone into it will realize it. And their knowledge now is sorry. Don't have these PhDs. PhDs. Paper PhDs with no experience. I say it so you know that person has no real experience and knows nothing. Say it right away. The theory is still confusing. Don't say it in practice. Now transfer bridge. The platforms are different. Do you guys know what the concept of NFT is? Do you know? Metaverse is something you know? Then you guys keep talking about layer 1. Layer 2, you guys don't talk about it. You're talking nonsense. The guys who coach really learn in the industry. They can only code something. The rest of the knowledge has no practical experience with many products in the world. So I'm telling the truth. I have to say that I admit that the guys who have run and thrown camps have a lot of projects. I must say they are very pitiful. They are the teachers for us to listen to, because of all the products they have gone through. The scams they let go, and they received and they recognized. We should not be evil. Our nature is ignorance, but we keep calling others ignorant. Those. A smart person never calls others stupid. Only stupid people call others stupid. Right? Sometimes they are really stupid. Calling others stupid. That's strange. Guys, that's it. Michael will also confide a little this weekend to raise the spirit for everyone, and then maintain the attitude of life connecting with each other in harmony and love. Unity is strength. Vietnam is about to have government directives so that we can officially and legitimately work without fear. With government sponsorship, all the platforms out there, when they participate in Vietnam, will have to comply with some factors so that we can clean up this market and we can help each other enrich our lives with